Right, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Zen and the New Testament meeting. That's great. We have all kinds of titles, so it's great to step into some Zen. It was lovely to prepare it, and so I used today too a bit of the Urtext of A Course in Miracles because of the biblical references. And Jesus is, say, reformulating certain parts of the Bible in such a way that it's actually very helpful and clarifying something that you didn't read before because it was not put right in the Bible, so to speak. And so these corrections are very helpful because otherwise you hold on to a certain idea about the situation or about how and what, while that wasn't necessary at all. And today that is in the meditation that we encounter this. So the meditation that we do is a very lovely one because it brings you to your inner choice. It's like, what is it actually that I'm here for? Why am I actually, participating in this meeting, for instance? What is the real motivation behind it? And that is just, in fact, recognizing that you have answered and that you are strong-willed enough, so to speak. You have a strong will that you want this above all else, like you want to wake up out of this dream above all else. And it's like everyone is asked for that, but you choose to do that now. You choose to do that, and that's not a little thing. Like that changes everything for you. Like you say to your human suffering, enough is enough. I don't want this any longer. Now here I stand. And I hear the calling, obviously. I hear the calling. Like there is an alternative. Hello, there is an alternative. Now here I have a choice to ignore the voice or to say, yes, I want to choose that right now. And I'm willing to go through anything to in fact, discover what it actually means. So this is the meditation that we do. Let's start with that because it's bringing us deeply into our quiet, into our stillness, but also into the confirmation that it's not just a little thing that you're doing. It's not just another class. No, this is part of your, say, celestial speed up that you find yourself in the middle of. And it's huge. It's absolutely wonderful that this is occurring. This is your, lifetime. I won't say once of a lifetime, but this is your lifetime opportunity to step into that and see that you can wake up now just by your choice because you want it. Simply, you don't want anything else. Choose right now meditation. I cannot unite your will with God's will for you, Jesus says, but I can erase all misperceptions from your mind if you will bring it under my guidance. Only your misperceptions stand in your own way. Without them, your own choice is certain. Sane perception induces sane choosing. The atonement was an act based on true perception. I cannot choose for you, but I can help you make your own right choice. Many are called, but few are chosen. as it says in the Bible, should read, all are called, but few have chose to listen. Therefore, they do not choose right. The chosen ones are merely those who choose right sooner. This is the real meaning of the celestial speed up. Strong wills can do this now, and you will find rest for your souls. God knows you only in peace, and this is your reality. All are called, but few have choose to listen. But few choose to listen. Therefore, they do not choose right. The chosen ones are merely those who choose right sooner. This is the real meaning of the celestial speed up. You will find rest for your souls. God knows you only in peace, and this is your reality. Right. So thank you for being still with me in this. So this fits perfectly in the in the setup of today, of this meeting, because in fact there's such thing as you cannot do this yourself. Your teacher cannot choose it for you, like your guidance cannot choose it for you. Now what? Like you would want someone to take it over for you, to do this for you, so that everything is set. You wouldn't know how to do it. So here's the teacher pupil relationship, you could say. Here's the guidance that you get from Spirit, from Jesus, from Christ, is given, but it's guidance. It is not living that for you. Now it's guidance. Now this is really essential. And you see, for instance, this in the Zen tradition is like, keep looking for your master. Keep looking for the master that actually can tell you something without words. Just by his mere presence, you receive guidance. You feel like, yes, this is right. This will help me to undo everything that's in the way. So it's a bit like that. So, of course, in the Buddhistic tradition, there's a master, a physical master, who's actually is present in the monastery or wherever. But see, you can see it as a metaphor too for your spirit guidance. Like the spirit can guide you, but you have to be willing to give everything to him in order to be guided. So that's really beautiful. Now we're going to stand still with that a little bit in this hour and a little bit more that we have. So we stand still in it and use certain parts of it from the New Testament also, because you see there, Jesus had his disciples. That's the same story. It's like a master. Master's walking around. He chooses his pupils, even though it doesn't always seem that way. But they follow him, and they ask him all kinds of questions because they have no idea, basically. But Jesus is patient and waiting always to in fact guide them, to instruct them and say like, no, wait, yeah, I gotta look at this in a different way. And so there's incredible parables, little stories that are very helpful. Now the same happens, of course, in the Course in Miracles. Jesus is giving you, it's like on a day-by-day basis, in fact, the correction, like it helps you to guide you to release what isn't true about yourself, to help you to come to a sane perception, to Christ vision, or to true perception, as we say in the Course in Miracles. Now, that's amazing that that's available. Now, this came in your life in a very specific time. So that's why I love the meditation too, because like that confirms another time that you are chosen. Like everyone's called to wake up out of the dream, and only few have answered. Like only the ones that can choose for it now have answered, and you're one of them. You're part of that. You have said, yes, I want the alternative, because I'm done with this. This cannot be it. It's too painful, it's too limited, it's lacking, it's not complete, it is imperfect, it is hopeless, it is whatever it is. But you have seen there's something else. So you can make the choice now, and you have done that. You have made that choice. Now here in the meditation we hear like, well then, like I cannot choose for you, but if you offer everything to me, so it can be corrected what you are, or the way that you are thinking, then we can totally work together, so to speak. Then I can help you to come to true perception. Now, in the old days, you could say, or in the present Zen, I don't know, Zen tradition, I'm not aware actually of what is occurring right now within the Zen tradition. It is. I use, of course, the book of Dogen, the book in which Dogen is being used as a patriarch, and that's the Treasury of the True Dharma Eye, which is a very, very, very chaotic book, but I still can work with it. It is not readable really. So there's so much consideration of what is being meant that you really think like, well, just tell the story and forget about the interpretation of it. So anyway, so this is how I use it. All the stories in which Dogen is actually saying something or bringing an idea in, I can use that, but then no explanation is needed. And yeah, so that's interesting. I want to dive in first into the Zen matter, just to keep that a little bit clear where I'm working with at what point in this meeting. And important is to see that the sharing of this doesn't mean that I'm a Zen master or that I'm a Zen teacher or that, none of that. No. Why am I using this? I use this just to in fact, help you to stretch your mind, to be so open to receive it that you recognize you have a possibility to recognize it even in the Zen tradition of what we work with during any kind of meeting, like within the Course in Miracles, New Testament, the words of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, in whatever form. By Joel, for instance, too, it's like Jesus Christ of Nazareth. This is what Joel uses. Basically, his whole teaching is based on that. And so that's why I want to use that New Testament as an common ground, and which it is, of course, between A Course in Miracles, Joel's teaching, New Testament, and so on. And so, but first we stretch our minds with the Zen tradition and expressions from Dogen and other masters. And that's very interesting. Let's just get started. Okay, the mountain silence deepens. The mountain silence deepens. Dogen says, the way of the Buddhas. Should we think not to speak of it, we cannot. Should we think not to study it, we grow distant from it. This is the way of the Buddhas. Should we think not to speak of it, we cannot. Like, you have to speak of it, you have to teach it. Should we think not to study it, we grow distant from it. Like, it has to stay alive within you. Then it can grow, then it's, yeah. Like, the correction needs to be constant. In other words, the correction, the inspiration for correction needs to be constant. Okay, here are some expressions to get in the mode. Scoop up the water, and the moon is in your hands. Well, you see it reflected, right? Hold the flowers, and your clothes are scented with them. Scoop up the water, and the moon is in your hands. Hold the flowers, and the clothes are scented with them. The same with teaching. Like, say the words, read it out loud, study it, get engaged in it. Like, let it literally inspire you on a daily basis. Then you get scented with it, just like flowers. Then you see the moon reflected. Then you see the light reflected in your doings, in your presence. Taking hold. One is astray in nothingness. Letting go. The origin is regained. It speaks for itself, right? Taking hold. One is astray in nothingness. Letting go. The origin is regained. A beautiful instruction. I love it. Skylark, sing all day, and day not long enough. So these are koans. Skylark, sing all day, and day not long enough. See, there's no sense in trying to understand this, but you can breathe it, you can smell it, so to speak, you can smell the scent of it. Skylark, sing all day, and day not long enough. Wind subsiding, the flowers still fall, birds crying. The mountain silence deepens. See, these words are not just mysterious words, but they could come to you after a deep meditation, or coming in the meditation, presenting themselves to you. Mountains of green, mountains of blue arise. My gratitude wells up and fills my eyes. Mountains of green, mountains of blue arise. My gratitude wells up and fills my eyes. Totally lovely. Okay, so here's Dogen talking to us. Ordinary mind. It is the ordinary mind without reference to this world or other worlds. Yesterday leaves from this place. comes from this place. When it leaves, the whole of heaven leaves. When it comes, all the earth comes. This is ordinary mind. The ordinary mind opens the gates to the interior of the house. Since 1,000 gates and 10,000 doors open and close simultaneously, it is ordinary. This covering of heaven and covering of earth is like words not remembered, like the sound of a sneeze. The words are equal. The minds are equal. The Dharmas are equal. Yesterday leaves from this place. Today comes from this place. When it leaves, the whole of heaven leaves. When it comes, all the earth comes. This covering of heaven and covering of earth is like words not remembered, like the sounds of a sneeze. The words are equal, the minds are equal, the Dharmas are equal. In the practice of the highest supreme wisdom, it is most difficult to meet prominent masters, whether men or women. They must be those who have realized something indescribable. This is the realization of the essence of the way. Therefore, they lead and benefit others, setting aside no causality or making no difference between the self and others. See, this is really lovely, to say the least. To say the least. See, the great thing that is, especially in the last slide, is this. It's like, it is not about the words. It is not about the teacher who explains. It is not about the teacher who instructs. It's not about the master that has such a great charisma or can always say the right things. Like, no. So in the discovery of the one who's guiding you, whether that's a physical master or whether that's spirit, it is like there's the recognition that there's something indescribable. Literally, there's one who has discovered the indescribable. And you can see, you can feel, you can smell. If it would be a flower, it can smell. You can smell that indescribability, you could say. It's literally indescribable. There's no sense in trying to explain what that is, but you recognize the secret, and like you recognize the secret in the eyes of the master. You feel it in the literally in the comfort or in the cloud around the master. You feel comforted by his presence. For who knows what that is? That is literally indescribable too. So, like the contact with the master. The contact with the master is beyond space and time, obviously, but it's also, beyond your human laws of what is possible. That makes it indescribable. I remember, master teacher literally like entering into my dream before I met him, like weeks before. I already was in complete communication with him. I knew him, so I recognized his face when I met him in person. But I already met him in my dreams with exactly the same configuration. And this is like, that is in a certain sense totally mysterious. But it's also a recognition of it is all encompassing. Literally there's no corner that you can hide in the eyes of your master. That's literally impossible. And which is great, because everything needs to come to the surface. Everything needs to be given, in fact, shared, brought to the surface, bringing it up for healing, and not knowing what to do with it. But just for sure, one thing is for sure, not hiding it, no longer hiding it, because your purpose of all of this has completely changed. Any definition that you held about yourself, you want to give up. You want to give it for a greater good, for healing, for a constructive use instead of a temporal special use that will in the end be of self-destruct in that sense. So this is good to mention it, because you recognize this for sure. So that makes it also unexplainable why a master in that sense can be so constant. He's always the same. Like he doesn't seem to be wavering whatsoever. So the certainty of his discovery cannot be taken away from him, in other words. I'm speaking of myself, of course, too. It's like the certainty that came to me in my experience of myself can never be taken away. It's literally, I wake up in the morning and it's right there. It cannot be taken. It is the only thing that's left. And it's inexpressible. It's unexplainable, but it's there. So great. And I love the words of Dogen, so that's why that touched me too. Is like the words that Dogen expresses this is so right on in my experience that I love to share it. Now, I go a little bit further in the Zen tradition now today with it's like an anecdote, but I thought it was really kind of entertaining too. That's why I made a podcast of it. So it's from the book The True Dharma Eye, Treasury of the True Dharma Eye. Ancestor Kai of Mount Furong was a source of the realization of single-minded sustained practice. When the ruler conferred on him the title Chan Master Dinzo, together with a purple robe, the ancestor would not accept him and composed a memorial stating his refusal. Although the ruler reprimanded him, the master did not accept. The Dharma taste of his rice broth has been passed down. When he made his hermitage at Mount Furam, the clerics and laymen who flowed to the place were nearly several hundred in number. But since they only got a daily fare of 1 bowl of gruel, many of them withdrew. The master made a vow not to go for meal offerings. Once, in addressing the assembly, he said, "To go forth from the household means to hate the afflictions and seek liberation from birth and death, to rest the mind, stop thoughts and cut off mental objects. Therefore it's called going forth from the household. How can we bury our daily lives in frivolous benefits? We should straightway let go of duality and cast aside the middle. When we encounter sounds and encounter sights, they're like flowers planted on a rock. When we see profit and see fame, they're like dirt in the eye. After all, it's not as if from the beginningless past we've never experienced this and don't know how it goes. It's nothing more than switching the head for the tail. Since this is all it is, why must we so fervently persist in our craving and longing? If we don't stop it now, what are we waiting for?" Therefore, the prior sages always had people exhaust the present moment. When we exhaust the present moment, what else is there? When we've got a mind without concerns, even the Buddhas and ancestors will be our enemies. Only once we're naturally cool to all the concerns of this world will we accord with over there. Have you not seen that until his death, Jinzan was unwilling to meet anyone? That until his death, Jinzhao was unwilling to tell anyone? That Bianden gathered chestnuts for his food? That Damai used lotus leaves for his clothes? That practitioner Ziyi wore only paper? That senior seed, Xuantai, wore only plant fiber? Xiang's establishing a dried-up free tree hall, where he sat and slept with the assembly, was just so you could kill off your mind. Tusis having people prepared rice that they cooked and ate together was so enable you to reduce your affairs. Now the previous sages had models like this. If they didn't have their value, why would they have been willing to do them? Gentlemen, if you personally investigate them, truly you'll be one who lacks nothing. If you're unwilling to accede to them, I'm deeply feared that henceforth you'll be wasting your efforts. This mountain monk, though his practice is not noteworthy, is honored to serve as head of his monastery. Now, could I simply sit by while the monastic property is wasted, suddenly forgetting that what prior sages have entrusted to us? So now, first of all, I want to learn a bit from the precedents for abbots left by the ancients. Having consulted with everyone, henceforth we will not descend the mountain, will not go for meal offerings, and will not dispatch proselyting masters. We shall divide the annual yield of his cloister fields into 360 equal parts, and use 1 part each day, regardless of the increase or decrease of the residents. If there's enough rice, we'll make rice. If there's not enough to make rice, we will make gruel. If there's not enough to make gruel, we will make rice water. In meeting new arrivals, we simply offer tea, without providing refreshments. We shall provide a single tea room, which individuals may use. We should strive to reduce involvement and single-mindedly pursue the way. Moreover, there's plenty to live on. The landscape hardly wanting, the flowers can smile, the birds can sing, the wood horse whinnies long, the stone ox gallops well. Beyond the heavens the hues of the blue mountains pale. Beside our ears the voice of the singing spring is still. On the peak a monkey chatters. The dew moistens the moon in the firmament. In the wood a crane cries. The wind circles the pines at daybreak. When spring breeze arises, the dragons sing amidst the dried up trees. The autumn leaves wither, their blossoms scatter in the cold wood. The jeweled stairs are patterned with moss, the faces of the people wrapped in hazy dews. The noise is stilled the situation, just the same. A single solitude, nowhere to go. So that was the story from the book. So that I hope you could follow it. The reading was kind of difficult to listen to, for myself too, when I listen to it now. When I read it, it is just perfectly clear. So anyway, you can read it too. I can send it to you if you feel like reading it one more time. It's really beautiful, because I love the fact that it ends with the poetic part that is actually the food for the monk. Like, well, whatever we reap from the fields will be enough. If there's not enough rice, we'll eat it's like rice water. Make something of it. We'll see what happens. Like it will be enough, because everything is around us. Like there will be nothing lacking for sure. Why bother to grasp? Where does that come from? Why bother to grasp? Okay, so we will discover. Here it is. So here we're talking about the kingdom of heaven. To you I shall give the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Everything that you will bind in earth will have been bound in heaven, and everything that you will release in the earth will have been released in heaven. So Dogen says, all the dualities, the deluded serve themselves. Dreams, phantoms, sky flowers, why bother to grasp them? Gain and loss, right and wrong, let go of them all at once. So you probably see the link between those two. It's like, this is really great, yeah. So entering into a state of non-dual existence, non-dual awareness. There's no right and wrong. There's no gain and loss. If you let go of your idea that makes a difference. So here it is too. Then, like the keys of heaven are given to you, and what you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. In other words, if you want to see, if you want to see beyond perception, you could say, if you see beyond differences, if you see beyond good and bad, healthy, sick, poor, rich, if you want to see beyond the dualities, in fact, that is drop the idea that they are different, and recognize what is true about you. Like they come together. Like allow the opposites to come together, because they come together. They seem to be opposites of something, but beyond the opposite is in fact the freedom, that what it really carries. That what is really true about it. And I can give a description of an object and say like, well, I really like that. I love the dark colors and I love the light colors. But in the end, it is like what I'm seeing here has nothing to do with the duality of it, like with the dark or. No, I see it as a whole, like it is integrated as beauty to me. It's like it's whole and it's perfect. It's great in all its facets. There's no distinction to be made. Now this you see too. So translating that to the New Testament, it's like the keys to the kingdom are given you, and what you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. If you don't release your ideas about what this is, if you don't release your ideas about your definition of yourself, how can you ever be seeing yourself as whole and perfect? That would literally be impossible, because you are busy with defining yourself in terms of duality. Good and bad, guilty, not guilty. You mentioned the whole shebang. It's like all of that is a description of yourself that has no ground. It is based on nothing. It's based on differences. Now here is the whole vision from heaven, from perfection, from beauty itself, from the love that you are. And it doesn't need to define anything. No, it is everything. It is total, it is complete, it is whole. It doesn't need to be defined. So that's of course really beautiful. So that's why Dogen says, drop the differences, drop the tendency to differentiate, to compare, to try to figure out, to analyze, try to figure out what it is today. Like yesterday was this and today is this. There's no difference between it. Like there is no difference between it. Only you differentiate because of your analysis, because of your definitions of yourself. You have a standard for what is good and you have a standard for what is bad, and are lost in that continuously. So why bother to grasp them? That is then the question. Why bother to grasp them? The dreams, the phantoms, the sky flowers. And you can have wonderful dreams, but what does that have to do with reality? Nothing. You can have wonderful images, but what do they have to do with what is really occurring? Nothing. Okay, so Matthew 16 continues with, for what profit is it to a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul? And here from the Course it says, this means that if he listens to the wrong voice, he has lost sight of his soul. He cannot lose it, but he cannot know it. It is therefore lost to him until he chooses right. Yeah. So what profiteth a man? It is to a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul. Like, to what voice are you listening? Now see, here we come back to our idea of the right guidance, the right teaching, the right learning. And so the master or the guide, the spirit, the instructor, the guidance. So see, this is how beautiful it is for me to discover this in what we are looking at. Because like you can lose, like if you listen to the wrong voice, you can lose your awareness of your perfect soul. You can lose connection with your perfect soul. And to you then it is lost. Not that it's really lost, luckily not. Of course it cannot be. But in this moment, in the moment that you are experiencing loss or experiencing anything but perfect happiness, it is in fact that you chose to listen to the wrong voice. Now what do? You stop and say like, well, drop it, because I don't need that. I want to stay, say, connected and aware of my perfect soul. I want to stay connected to the guidance that is given me and listen to that. I don't want to listen to anything else. This means that if he listens to the wrong voice, he has lost sight of his soul. He cannot lose it, but he can not know it. It is therefore lost to him until he chooses right. See, choice, how important that is still in the transformation. You have to make choices. You have to choose right. Matthew 6:10. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. The Holy Spirit is the way in which God's will can be done on earth as it is in heaven. Both heaven and earth are in you because the call of both are in your wills and therefore in your minds. The Holy Spirit is the way in which God's will can be done on earth as it is in heaven. Both heaven and earth are in you because the call of both are in your wills and therefore in your minds. We saw this too in the meditation. It's like under the right guidance, you can be told, you can choose right. And taking part in listening to the call, and with your strong will, you can choose to take part in the celestial speed up right now. Here stands your brother with the key to heaven in his hand, held out to you. Let not the dream of specialness remain between you. Here stands your brother with the key to heaven in his hand, and he gives it to you. Literally, your brother is presenting the key to heaven to you. Let not the dream of specialness remain between you. And say, for instance, that you say like, no, I don't want the key from you. I want the key from this one, not from you. I don't trust you. Like that would not work at all. So your brother is handing out the key to heaven in his hand. It's for you to take that. Let not the dream of specialness remain between you. No, allow this dream to be corrected, like allow every idea of specialness to be corrected. Zen Master Yuan Wu said, alive, the manifestation of the full function. Dead, the manifestation of the full function. Filling the whole of empty space. The bare mind, always in pieces. Well, this is about pure Zen. So alive, the manifestation of the full function. Dead, the manifestation of the full function. Filling the whole of empty space. The bare mind, always in pieces. Yeah, so let me say something about this, because this is a lovely tradition that we have, and that is in fact allowing staying in your devastation, allowing your world to collapse all the time. Literally like, no, don't hold on to it, don't defend it, let it fall apart, let it fall apart. Don't be afraid to let it fall apart, because it has no reality. It is of your making. If it would be eternal, it would not be able to collapse. It would not be able to fall apart. So, bare mind, always in pieces. Like what the Zen teacher said, like bare mind. A bare mind is completely bare. Like there's already nothing in it, but let it be completely in pieces. That's an impossibility, but this is what we're dealing with. It is impossible what you're trying to do in your mind, to keep up a picture that has no reality at all, and defend it and attack it and defend it and attack it until you recognize There's no reason for me to do this. I don't need to do this. No, I can let my world fall apart. I don't have to, literally, I don't have to continue anything that I'm doing for the idea of continuation in time and space. I don't need to do that. That's not what's being asked of me. So it's like, let the world fall apart. Choose, go for this bare mind, always into pieces. Like, let any kind of difference be corrected. If you think you see differences, if you think this makes sense and this doesn't make sense, if you try to figure that out, give it away. Let it fall apart so it can be shown to you what it actually means. Well, this is also very lovely. It's Matthew 18. Truly I say to you, unless you will be converted and become like little children, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. Whoever therefore humbles himself like this boy, he will be the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Because that was the question of the disciples, like, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? Well, truly I say to you, unless you will be converted and become like little children, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. And whoever therefore humbles himself like this boy, he will be the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Alive, the manifestation of the full function. Dead, the manifestation of the full function. Filling the whole of empty space, the bare mind, always in pieces. So becoming like little children. And I don't know if that's a pleasant idea to you, but it's being asked. It's like, allow yourself to be converted. Allow yourself to come to the place where you don't know anything. Allow yourself to be open. And it's like being completely, in fact, taken by everything that's occurring in your life, in your daily encounters. See it as a child. Certainly, this is what I like about the expression, the other Zen expressions, like the fulfillment, dead, alive, doesn't matter. Like if you look at situations and you think you already know what is occurring and what the effect of that is, you're not even looking at what is actually occurring. You're missing the whole thing. This is what it means. So it's like, see as a child. Allow yourself to look through the eyes of a child. Allow yourself to be converted to not knowing anything, not even knowing what the next step will be, not knowing what you will say, where you will go, who you will meet. Now we practice this. We come to that many times. So you can only do that if you're willing to give up your ideas about yourself. Like a child doesn't really have ideas about itself. Parents or whoever teaches them about themselves, ideas about themselves, but they don't have any ideas about themselves. They can completely open, look at everything. Like they've seen it, they see it for the first time. They have no idea about it. So it's being revealed to them. And that can be, you see this with a child too, it's like it can be that a child would see a tiny little thing that becomes so important or that's so precious to them, while it would have no value for someone who calls himself an adult. So allow yourself to become like little children, also in the humility of it, and the expression of it, and spontaneity of it, of a child. Allow yourself to be a child. Not being concerned about how you look, not being concerned about what you do, or how others would think about it, and all this stuff that you take with you as an adult, as a so-called grown-up. So let it fall, bare mind, let it fall into pieces all the time. Don't hold on to any idea of duality, of good and bad, or any kind of moral that you have learned. So it's like the direct inspiration in the moment is where the real guidance is. Everything is given to you in the moment that you need it. And this is the difficult part, because you, as a human being, you try to plan in front and set yourself up for a certain situation where you step into with a strategy, with like, if I do this, then we'll do that, like a chess game, like politics. And here, like, no, let this mind be empty. Otherwise you cannot even receive the guidance. The mind needs to be empty, needs to be bare into pieces, like let it fall apart all the time in order to be able to receive guidance given in the moment that you need it. I do this with the classes always too. It's like, I have no idea what to present today. Luckily, I don't know. I have no idea what would be the best, and then it can be given to me. When I need it, it is right here. When there are words to be shared, they are right here. Like, that is just a matter of, no, it is a provision. You can totally trust it. No, there's no exception to it. It always works. There's never that it doesn't work. And they say, what it confirms to you, if you literally follow that practice, is you get a confirmation of the connectedness. See, this is not just for me, here is for you. You're a total part of this. You can feel that. No, this is exactly what you were thinking. I didn't know what you were thinking, but I'm just sharing what Spirit knows. Like, literally, it goes beyond any kind of human limitation, thinking that someone else is separate from you or can have ideas that you don't know. Like, all of that is completely fallen into pieces. Now I'm in perfect communication with every aspect of creation. Like, there's literally nothing that I don't know. Not that I need to tell all of it. No, it is when the moment is ready. Like, the words are there. When the moment is ready, I'm being given everything that I need to know. That's all. For exactly that reason, in perfect harmony with the whole universe. Thank you so much for listening and being part of this, and recognizing that you asked for this, and that's why it's given. It's all part of literally what you ask for. Even the music that I choose, you're actually the one choosing it.